Science fiction has long served as a powerful lens through which we examine and speculate about the future. More often than not, however, the futures imagined within the genre tend to be very distant, to the point where the alternative worlds depicted can seem completely unfamiliar. Such works of science fiction depict entirely different environments, systems, and social structures that make it hard to picture how we can plausibly move from our present to such imagined futures. But what about scenarios where we could actually do that? And how does it feel to look at imagined futures that are not only believable, but also feel like they're just around the corner? Well, the answers can be found in science fiction works that imagine the near future, also known as light future. Such works present imagined worlds that sit somewhere in between the future and the present to give us this sense of both difference and familiarity. A notable work that captures such a future is the 2013 film Her. Directed by Spike Jonze, this movie follows a lonely writer and the romantic relationship he develops with his operating system, while Her mostly stands out for its meditation on human relationships and affection in a world highly dominated by technology. It also offers a compelling vision of futuristic urban environments and seamless technology that are worth looking into to get a grasp of how we can envision the near future. When it comes to the environment that Her imagines, the first thing we can notice is that it takes place in a mostly urban, highly industrialized city. Within the film, the setting is supposed to be Los Angeles in the not-so-distant future, meaning 10 to 15 years from the present. Considering the movie was released in 2013, we technically are in the future that it imagined. The Los Angeles depicted is mainly characterized by a density resulting from the clusters of tall towers and skyscrapers. While the description doesn't exactly match that of Los Angeles today, it still paints an image that we're definitely familiar with, albeit in relation to other modern cities. One reference the screenplay of the movie makes is to the city of Shanghai. The first description of the exterior depicts a Los Angeles street set slightly in the future, where the city has been developed even more with massive office, apartment, and mall complexes. It's a city designed for comfort and ease. The LA basin is more crowded and dense, resembling Shanghai, with buildings as far as the eye can see. In reality, the movie was indeed shot on location in Shanghai in addition to Los Angeles, specifically in Podong District, which helped in adding an interesting collection of skyscrapers, and most importantly, the pedestrian sky bridges that complemented the urban sprawls of LA. This added dimension paints a future marked by comfort with urban design, thanks to walkability and the near absence of cars. Now, we are living in the future depicted in the movie, yet Los Angeles still seems very far from this picture, though other cities do indeed appear to be heading very slowly towards that direction. The pedestrian-friendly setting might give the impression that this is a slightly more environmentally conscious world than the one we live in today, though it still doesn't look like a completely eco-friendly world, perhaps because it's set in the near future, and realistically we can't really go that far in such a short amount of time. The city still looks like a concrete jungle with little to no natural elements integrated in it. The only natural environment that we spend some screen time on is the beach. We get several shots that capture the ocean at the same time as Theodore starts forming an emotional connection with his operating system, Samantha. Besides that, we also have those scenes that take place in what looks like a mountain village that Theodore visits during his best moments with Her. Those scenes contrast the heavily industrial images of the city that we get throughout the movie. And lastly, another small instance where we get a depiction of natural elements is when Theodore is sitting on a bench, with a billboard behind him showing an owl that looks like it's about to catch him. Considering that this image is shown at a moment of emotional conflict for Theodore, it could be argued that it was meant to represent the way he is caught up and consumed by his feelings, in the same way he appears to be caught by the owl. So while nature is rarely present in the scenery of the film, the few moments where it does, it serves to reflect the emotional place that the main character finds himself in. While it is interesting to look into the urban and natural environment of the world depicted, it is important to note that most of the film takes place indoors, either in the office where Theodore works or in his apartment. There are several elements in those built environments that can help us get a sense of the future that is represented in the movie. The most important one is the seamless integration of technology within the environment. Instead of adding technology that is otherworldly, the film either removes some elements dominating the present, rendering this imagined world more minimalistic, or incorporates technology that is different but still looks familiar and completely believable to contemporary audiences. Some of the designs create a sense of nostalgia, like the smartphones that look like those old silver cigarette holders from the 1920s. Meanwhile, some technology seems like a continuation of what we are already familiar with in the present, mainly operating systems that closely resemble AI generators like ChatGPT or computers that we can interact with vocally. All of these details help in establishing a world that is marked by comfort, facilitated by technology, and to further portray this harmony between technology, human characters, and the environment, the movie maintains an attractive visual identity for all of these elements by using a color palette meant to paint an image of warmth and comfort. That's why the colors incorporated are limited to warm colors, such as shades of red, brown, and yellow, with the deliberate exclusion of blues, in order to set the film apart from other works of science fiction. These colors are found everywhere you look in the movie, including the different environments, characters, and objects. A dominating color, for example, is red, which we see in the shirt Theodore wears, in the glass of his office, and the operating system that he falls in love with. The use of these elements isn't solely meant to paint an aesthetic and establish an alternative world. Rather, the film mobilizes its visual makeup to meditate on questions that naturally arise as we speculate on the near future. The harmony created between all elements of the movie through color aligns with the exploration of human beings' relation to their surroundings, including objects and environments. This subject is brought up by the operating system Samantha when she points to philosophies that explore the connection between everything that exists within the material sphere and argue for their oneness.
Think about all the ways that we're the same, like we're all made of matter.
The movie goes as far as referencing the late philosopher Alan Watts, who tackled what is known as the illusion of separation. This concept suggests that humans only hallucinate their separation from the external world, instead of recognizing they are an integral part of it. This philosophy aligns well with the film's aesthetics that merge different visual elements. At the same time, the contrast between the warm, aesthetically pleasing environment and the emotional conflicts explored by the narrative naturally questions the ability of constantly seeking comfort and convenience through technology. In this way, the film occupies an ambiguous space between utopia and dystopia, realistically capturing the paradox we face in our relationship with technology. Ultimately, Her serves as a powerful reflection on the complex interplay between human emotion, technological advancement, and our perception of reality in an increasingly digital world.